Hey you guys, thank you so much for joining me today for Behind the Lyrics on my debut album, Red for War.
What's hidden underneath? What can you see? Your eyes don't sleep. What's buried underneath? When you look inside of me, but can you see?
In total, as a collective of all these different songs, is basically a statement about believing in yourself despite all odds. It's about waging war against things that come against you, against your purpose, your vision, your life. It's about taking control and fighting back and having confidence to stand your ground even when things are coming at you, coming against you, and everything seems to be impossible. So I want to dig in a little bit. We're going to start with number 1, Unshaken. So some of you guys may know my previous history. Writing Unshaken was such a turning point for me. It was at a point in my life when I had just lost my previous band. A whole 2 years worth of work of recording a new album kind of went down the drain. And at the same time, in the beginning of 2017, when all of this was happening, I was actually diagnosed with a disease called medullary kidney disease, where your kidneys are basically starting to shut down because of biological factors in your genetics. And so while I was in the midst of this time, I was debating on this chance, this opportunity to become a solo artist. You know, it was a very difficult time because the band had just broken up. There was a lot of feelings. It wasn't exactly amicable. And so there was a lot of emotional unrest in me, not to mention this life-altering news that now I have this disease. And so when I was contacting my producer and I was starting to create the plans to become Zana, a solo artist, I talked to Joshua Bertrand, my producer, and he gave me a song that had no vocals on it yet, but it was a killer song with crazy riffs and pounding drum elements. And I told him, I need this song. I want to write to this song, so give it to me. We'll put it on the new record. And I started writing it. And I remember being in the hospital on January 4th, my birthday, 2017, all by myself, and I was going through some procedures that I had to stay overnight for. And I remember feeling just so angry at the devil. I was so angry and I was so on fire because all I wanted to do was just rip out these IVs and go and record this song I was writing called Unshaken. And so Unshaken is really about a declaration of standing your ground against all odds. And I knew that becoming a solo artist was a risky venture, and I knew that there was a lot of things against me at that point, but it was about standing my ground and, you know, declaring that I was gonna make it, that this disease is not going to kill me. I'm going to be able to tour. I'm going to live out my dream no matter what odds are against me right now. So Unshaken, like I said, is a declaration of war against things that oppose you, against the enemy, against any opposition. And it's meant to empower. It talks about Jesus having the blood of the Christ and being able to take on anything because of that, because of what we have in our life. So that's Unshaken for you guys. It is a war cry and a big theme of Red for War.
What's hidden underneath? What can you see? Your eyes don't sleep. What's buried underneath? When you look inside of me, but can you?
Thanks for tuning in, you guys. This has been Behind the Lyrics with Zana, my debut album, Red for War. We'll see you next time.